Welcome back to Spooky Season. In this time, to celebrate the dark and villainous, I decided to work with one of the most iconic rogues galleries of all time, Batman villains. But then, I had another idea. For those who don't know, the current most popular DC Comics run is the Absolute Universe, which is basically, what if the DC Universe sucked? Asking such questions like, what if Wonder Woman was raised in hell? Or what if Superman stayed on Krypton? Or what if Batman was lower middle class? Dun dun dun. Oh, and also he fights Eldritch Horrors now. So without further ado, on with the show. Greetings, and welcome to the Isle of the Draconic, home to the Dragon Keepers, a guild dedicated to the capture and protection of various dragons and creatures throughout the land of Rave. My name is Drekindoltgon, and today we have some further and rather horrifying updates from the Kingdom of Gotham. For those who don't remember, this is a kingdom known for its constant dragon attacks. Attacks that are often prevented by a wealthy Dark Knight known as Brixwanian. At least it did. Recently, there was an incident in which a powerful warlord attacked Gotham and managed to rob Waynian of his lair, equipment, wealth, and even his black dragon mount, leaving Waynian with almost nothing. And things have gotten only worse for the Dark Knight, as recently a new series of dangerous dragons has recently begun ravaging the kingdom. For example, one of the first dragons to appear was a blue amphitheater with cryogenic powers, known as the Freezing Victor Limb. As an amphitheater, the dragon has no legs, having a snake-like lower body and two rather long and lanky limbs with wings attached. It is entirely blue, besides two bug-like red eyes on the side of its head. Many have also stated that its arms and tail look to be frostbitten, which at first seems odd given that it is an ice creature. However, once we learned how these dragons came to be, its unnatural nature made much more sense. As it turns out, many of these beastly dragons were not natural, but were created by a warlord by the name of Bane, a physically hulking man who was said to stand at 9 feet tall. And that all was before the transformation. As it turned out, he had created a strange potion known as Venom, which, when injected into a human, could transform them into a horrifying draconic creature. There were many different strains of this Venom potion, with the one Bane gave himself being the perfected version, allowing him to transform into a large draconic form temporarily, before turning back into a human state. And when I say this dragon is large, that may be an understatement, as it may well be one of the largest dragons I have ever come across, towering over entire mountain ranges and crushing villages underfoot. Besides its size, this dragon is somewhat unremarkable, having a very muscular and almost human-like build, black scales with green veins bursting from it, and a mandibled jaw. We currently believe that this Bane character is responsible for creating many, if not all, of the horrific dragons in this land. And that includes the most recent one, the one created from Brixwanian himself. You see, Waynian managed to hunt down Bane and began trying to take him down. But as strong as Waynian was, Bane was so much stronger, and very much able to quickly subdue Waynian, before transforming him into the newest dragon, a bat-like creature with a broad build and an axe for a tail. Fortunately, despite the transformation, it appears that Waynian has managed to maintain his faculties, and is now using his new draconic form to take down other dragons within the Kingdom of Gotham. However, Brixwanian's fortunate outcome was the exception, and was far from the rule. You see, after hunting down Waynian, Bane began to try and hunt down all of Brix's friends, in order to perform his experiments on them, making Brix suffer even more. Though all 4 technically survived the experiments, only one was deemed a success by Bane, that being the transformation of Lord Wayland into a creature that we now call the Killer Crocojaw. As one may guess by the name, it is very reminiscent of a common crocodile, though obviously with wings and much, much more terrifying. As one could potentially also assume from the name, this creature's most defining characteristic is their jaw, particularly how much of it there is. While other creatures have jaws that, make sense, this one's mouth extends from its nose, as expected, down to its neck and to its upper chest. Its entire long neck is essentially its mouth. Because of course it is. As unfortunate as it is to look at, it seems to be even more unfortunate to be it, as Waylon's draconic form also comes with an uncontrollable hunger for flesh, human, dragon, or otherwise. The man within the beast then seemingly lost his mind. Overtook by his hunger, he now lives as little more than an animalistic killing machine. A truly sad fate. Fortunately, our final one we do not actually have to feel that sad for. Now, it is worth noting that we don't actually know much about this dragon. Sightings of it are quite rare, and any guesses at its backstory are loose speculation. But here goes. The absolute cackling menace is a large muscular dragon, with a mostly white hide with green accents, green horns, and a large smiling jaw that seems larger than its actual face. As of yet, we do not know what its powers and abilities are, though we do know its roar is more akin to that of a hyena's cackle, hence the name. As for speculation of its backstory, some have gone to connect it to a certain criminal in Gotham working under the name of the Joker. Though this title of Joker has been a recurring one throughout Gotham's history, this one seems much more distinct than his precedents. And while others that have gone by this title are obsessed with, as the name would imply, laughter and jokes, he seems almost medically unable to laugh. That is, possibly until recently. Some have suspected that this new beast have come about after this Joker character injected himself with a formula that was a mixture of Bane's venom and the poison of the Smiling Jester, a dragon I talked about a few years back. Though this theory seems likely, it is mostly unconfirmed. Now, that is all I have for today. I am sure as we learn more about this kingdom of Gotham, and more and more of these monstrous dragons will rear their heads. And if you wish me to discuss them, let me know. But until then, good night, and stay safe. Spooky season is almost over, so if you have episodes you want to see, comment below. But until then, goodbye, and I'll remember you all in therapy.